gonna go ahead and hit record. Okay. All right. Okay, well, hello everybody. Happy Monday, December 6th. It's time for our December regional meeting. So woohoo! We're always excited to have everybody together, and this is actually a collaboration of our Live Out Loud team combined with the Canadian Nailed It group team and Sarah Rogers' team. Team Ruby? No, Diamond? Rubies, right, okay. So it's a collaboration of these teams coming together and doing this together. And so I'm actually recording it on Zoom as well as live streaming in our Live Out Loud page. Just for those of you that might be watching on the live stream, please know that I can't see your comments during the actual recording of this, but I'll go back and look to see what I can see and answer any questions after. So I also need to share my screen because, of course, hold please. Hold one moment. Sorry, Terry, I know that you have another meeting right after this, so I'm trying to get us going here as soon as possible. But what are you guys most excited to hear now that you're here? What are you most excited to hear tonight and improve in your business? Anybody? Nobody's excited to hear anything.
All of it.
I'm super excited, Shonda.
Talk to me. Hey, Lauren. So happy to have you. Okay, what do you guys really want to hear tonight? Because you're going to hear from 4 amazing rock stars. What are you looking forward to hearing?
Everything.
Okay, get a little more specific. What else?
I got one. Tips on enrolling before Christmas.
Okay, good. All right. Okay. Well, go ahead.
Motivating pre-holiday sales.
Yay. Are you guys jazzed about tomorrow's launch?
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll hear a little bit more about that. So with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we will get rolling on our meeting. So, all right, so I first off want to welcome all of you to our Warm Up Your Business in December. So just remember that, and we've heard this, a lot of us have been in the direct selling industry for some time. If you've been here longer than a month, you may have heard this. It's a holiday, not a whole month. And we really have to be very intentional about making sure that we continue to work our business and not take off too much time to prepare for the holidays. So I wanted to mention, and I'm sorry, I'm just gonna reduce my screen and mute some people just because we have a lot of background noise. Oh, sounds like y'all muted. Okay. Okay, so we'll go back to our meeting. All right, so just a few little reminders. I wanted to make sure and welcome, first off, welcome to all of our newest stylists. If you have never been with us for a regional meeting or any type of training, we are so excited to have you join us because truly it's the collaboration of this amazing group of stylists and leaders that make all of the things happen within our team, and they share openly and willingly. And why would you create something new that these people are already having great success with? So welcome to the team. We're super happy to have you here. I also wanted to mention that we have continuous and consistent weekly trainings. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have on the official Color Street Stylist Facebook group something called Connect the Dots. And that's just kind of a little way to hear the latest updates for the week, as well as some great little training topics. I mean, if you go into that particular page and you can search many, many topics, such as somebody said wanted to learn how to enroll in December, you could search that topic and probably find some great trainings that have been in the past for Connect the Dots. And Connect the Dots has been going for over a year and a half now. It began when COVID hit, so it was a way to stay connected. We also have Tuesday trainings every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time. And if you haven't seen a Tuesday training yet, go to your Color Street app and you'll be able to pull up every training. Sorry, of course, my phone wants to do an update now, so it's not showing me the Color Street app, but all of the Tuesday trainings are in there. They're also in the Resource Center, Resource Library. Under trainings, there's a tab that lists a link for every Tuesday training for the last 4 years. And then every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Time, there is a new stylist Zoom. So if you're new, that is where you want to be. They do record it once or twice. There are some past recordings. I'm not sure where to find those. And maybe somebody here knows, but those are on the recurring stylist calls list in the Resource Center. If you ever want to find the link for that Zoom or to just be reminded of what's coming up. Also, Color Street received a lot of requests for some extra business basic trainings. And so the month of December is when those are going to happen. So every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Time via Zoom, there will be a new topic. So this week's topic is networking through the holidays. So that's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time. That's what we call Central Time, CT, we call that Color Street time. So you can always remember that. Networking through the holidays, that's something that all of us could benefit from, I'm sure. And yes, those will be recorded, I'm sure. They haven't said that, but I'm sure they will be. Also, want to remind you, we have a host exclusive in December called Just Peachy. It's a gorgeous peachy pinkish shade. We had a style very similar to this that was called Singapore Chic. That was my absolute favorite neutral color of all times. And so when I saw this, I started drooling because I was like, oh my gosh, Singapore Chic is back. So this is as close as I've seen to it. Just remember that this is only for nail bars closed December 1st through the 31st. And it's valid for qualifying host nail bars with 3 or more orders and either 150 US dollars in sales or 190 in Canadian. And by the way, there is limit 1 set per qualifying nail bar. So nothing says that you can't host multiple nail bars though in the month of December for you, your hosts, your customers, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, tomorrow, yay, no greater alloy. So no greater alloy mini collection launches tomorrow. I have to tell you guys that the metallics have been a huge requested item for years. I think as long as I've been with Color Street, these have been very high on the request list. So Color Street, with the design group, they had to go through a lot of testing because they found that it either wasn't holding its sheen, or when you applied it and rubbed it, it would rub the finish off. So it went through a lot of testing, a lot of chemistry basically to get this metallic shade. So we're really excited to offer this beginning tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Just to remind you again, if you're new to Color Street, This is a mini collection. That means that it's while supplies last. It means that it was designed to sell out. It means that it won't be restocked. Now, has Color Street ever come back and restocked one or two styles that sold out from a mini collection? Yes, that has happened. However, we can never ever count on it. These are being sold, they're listed at the price of a solid, so they're called glimmers, I think they are. So I think it was you, Lori, that asked earlier that if they were going to be the consistency of like at the plaza, or gratitude is everything. And that would be my assumption, because it is considered a shimmer, that it'll be that type of a finish, which is, I love. They're really easy to work with. Okay, so before we get to our meat and potatoes, I want to share with you the earnings statement that simply says that when you join Color Street, you are not guaranteed any type of income. Your income is completely related to how you work your business, the time and effort that you put into it, and plain and simple, just how good you are getting at it. So we all start at different places, and some people take a little bit longer to find their momentum, and others get started and screaming right out the door in the beginning. So that's many of you right here on this Zoom. So with no further ado, I want to introduce our first speaker. So Terry Larson, you guys have probably seen her name in lots of recognition. Terry comes to our team with over, 30 years of experience, is it? 30? Yeah, in the direct selling industry. And honestly, she was kind of forced into building something new. Wasn't necessarily looking for that. However, when she found what she wanted to do, she hit the ground running on August 9th when we launched in Canada. And since then, she's enrolled 23 new stylists. And not only that, but she hit director in just 21 days. And then she promoted to senior director the following month. Who does that? It's crazy. So she was one of the first 2 senior directors in Canada. And let's see, she continues to work with her team of amazing stylists that are now 257 stylists strong. That's awesome, Terry. So now before she gets into her training, you might say to yourself, well, I don't have any direct selling experience, or I'm not coming in with any big connections, so I could never do that. But here's what I'd like to say to you. We all started in that same place. We all had to start from ground zero, not knowing what we were doing, not necessarily having a ton of connections. And the fact that somebody with this type
Sorry
guys, we're getting some feedback. I'm not sure who that is. So the fact that somebody with that type of experience comes to a newer company like this, like Color Street, that's still sometimes a little rough around the edges because we are so new, that speaks volumes. And she came here because she saw an income opportunity, and she saw an incredible potential for growth. So that's what I was trying to say. So with that being said, I will turn it over to Miss Terry to talk to us a little bit more about the Riviera Maya trip. Terry?
Well, thank you so much, Shonda, for asking me to speak. It's always an honor. Shonda asked me to speak to you on how we could capitalize on double points for the Riviera Maya. Well, we still have just under 2 months to earn the trip. And the first step may sound a bit hokey, but if you don't do this step, you probably won't make it. And what that step is you have to believe with all your heart that you're going to make it. You have to tell everyone that you're going to be basking in the sun next September at the incredible Maya in Mexico. You have to believe it so much that there's not going to be any doubt that it's going to happen. Because you believe it, your subconscious mind that never sleeps comes up with all sorts of ideas and names. Now, in my past business life, I earned 23 trips in a row. I never had any doubt that I was going to be wherever they're going to be sending us. Even before it was announced, I knew two things. One, it's going to be incredible. And two, I was going to be there. Now, once you believe this, once you really 100% know you're going to be there, your next step is to figure out what still needs to be done. Do you want the 30 points, accommodation paid for, all the food and drinks, but you pay for the flight? Do you want 50 points, flight, food, drinks, and the accommodation paid for? Or do you want 75 points, trip for two completely paid for by Color Street? After you figure out which level you want to be at, go to and figure out your points. Subtract what your points are right now from the level you chose. And then you check where you are in the must-haves. So we need 12 points, sale points, which is $6,000 in sales. How many more sale points do you need? Figure it out. We need 4 sponsoring points. Where are you right now?
23.
The next step is you figure out how you're going to do that. Now, December is double points, so take advantage of that. It's half the work. Let's say you still need 4 sponsoring points. All you need to do this month is find 2 stylists, 2 in December, who qualify, and you've made it. So go back to your list. Who said maybe? Who said call me later? Who could use some extra income? Think of your friends and family and people that you've met. Who needs that extra income? Who's on mat leave and really does not want to go back to work? Start making a list tonight of everybody that you can think of and then call them. Get your upline to help you with a dialogue. And it could be just as simple as, hey, Susan, how are you enjoying the nails? Excellent. I've been thinking of you and I think you'd be amazing at what I do. And then at this point, put in a compliment, whether it's you'd be amazing because you're such a great people person. You'd be amazing because your nails look awesome all the time. Think of something that really correlates to them. And then say, my leader is having a Zoom opportunity meeting this Wednesday, and I was wondering if you'd listen to it. I would love to hear what you think of it. It takes about 30 minutes depending on questions. That's all you have to say. Especially if you're newer, you don't want to talk too much because sometimes we get so excited that we talk them in and out of it. So let your upline do the work. Then when she starts to sell, help her plan her launch party, help her hostess coach, and even help her do it. She's new. You want to get as much out of this launch party as possible because you want to qualify her this month to get those points. Since our per person buying is about $50, all she needs is about 6 orders to qualify. 6 orders. We're so close to getting that trip. So who can't do that? If her first show doesn't quite make it, help her with the list of people that she can call and help her with what to say to these people so that you know she's going to sell that $300. If you already have the 4 qualified points, perfect. Sponsor more. We're getting double points. Let's use this. At this point, you already know what you need to make the trip. So use this great gift that Color Street has given us to get as much action as we can. Sales are your next step. Okay, everything you do this month, you're doubling. Wow. So get on the phone. Call all your favorite hostesses that are always there to support you, and we all have them. Let them know that you're going to earn the trip to Mexico, but you need help from your favorite hostesses. People want to help. They just need to be asked. They feel good helping, so just ask them. Next, call every single customer that you have. And I know that sounds a lot, but if you have so many, call your top customers. Wish them a Merry Christmas, thank them for their order, and let them know that you personally are having a Christmas special for all your past customers. You can offer them different things. I'm thinking of offering them a bonus set of nails if they purchase 2 sets of 3. So instead of getting 2 sets for free, they're going to get 3. And then I'm going to tell them if they get a friend to purchase the same amount, I'm going to give both of them an extra set. So use those double points. Keep track of every cent that comes in. You don't want to miss it by just a squint. Ask everyone either to sell, number one, and if not, to purchase. And most important, believe that you can do it. Because if you really believe that you can do it, you're never going to stop. You're going to continually work. You're not going to get deflated because you know that there's ups and downs. You're just going to keep on working. And you still have January to top it off if you need to. But wouldn't it be a great Christmas present for you and possibly a guest if you can qualify for the trip now in December? So good luck to all, and we'll be sharing a margarita on the beach.
Thank you, Terry. That's great. It's, you know what? It's so simple. I mean, really, is it that simple of selling and enrolling? And it's about connecting with people. The only thing that stops you ever from earning a trip or earning the income that you need with Color Street is actually not reaching out, the fear of reaching out to people, right?
Right.
So how do you all get over that fear, Terry? Back to you. How do you get, like, if you get kind of nervous about reaching out to people, how do you overcome that? Or how do you suggest that newer people overcome that?
Well, don't think of it as it's for you. Think of what you can do for them. When you're thinking of people that need income, think about the average that you do and the amount of money that you bring in. Think about what you can do for them. And when you take you out of the equation, all of a sudden it's not that hard to ask. And if you give them a genuine compliment, who doesn't like a compliment? Think about yourself. If somebody says, even if you're not interested in something, but if somebody says, man, Shonda, you are amazing. You've got the best smile ever. You just light up a room. You just feel great. So just think about them. Don't think of what it's doing for you. Think about them.
That's a really, really good tip. And because we can completely get paralyzed by fear, right?
Yeah.
So does anybody here have a little trick besides, so Terry's saying, get your mindset right? Like it's not about you. But does anybody else have a little trick that they pull on themselves to get yourself to make that first reach out? Little tip, a little trick.
Just picture them as though they're already a member of your team and they already are doing this with you and you're just running with them.
I thought you were going to say picture them naked, Wendy, but yes. I love
Well,
that.
there is that too, but then you're just laughing your butt off the whole time.
If you have clothes on, you have the upper hand, right?
I finally figured out what I needed, Shonda.
Yeah.
I learned that my why was never big enough. Your why needs to scare you. It should bring you to your knees. It should make you cry. It should be so strong that you want to overcome those day-to-day fears.
Okay, good. So then you have to make it big, like make your why bigger.
Make it big.
Because if your why isn't moving you to step outside of your fear of that comfort zone, then you know you've got some work to do.
Right.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Okay. I know back in the day, we were challenged at one time to actually work our business for 8 hours straight. And it was amazing because, you know, those of us in the direct selling business, again, the majority of people work another job outside of their direct selling business. But it was amazing to me of how many of us, after like 4 hours of reaching out to customers and hostesses and you know, people on our team, like I was exhausted after 4 hours and I felt like I had worked like a complete day and I wasn't even close to the 8 hours. So it's like we can do anything for a short period of time, right? So if we challenge ourselves and just say, I just have to pick up my phone, I cannot stop messaging people or I can't stop calling people for the next 30 minutes. Like, how much could you get done? So we can do anything for a short period of time. And I just really want to encourage all of you to do something, pick something a little bit scary and trick yourself into overcoming that challenge. So I have to share with you guys how stupid I am today. So this happened today, but it might work out, who knows. So I saw I had a order from a customer who I had never met before. And so I sent her an email and I looked at her name and I looked at her information and I just said to myself, okay, name xyz@gmail.com. That's her email address, right? So I composed an email to this email address and I sent it out and I said, thank you for your order. I hope that you're going to enjoy your Color Street nail polish. If you're not sure how to apply it, here's the video, blah, blah, blah. She emails me back and she goes, well, somebody must have used my email address because I didn't place an order, but I would be interested in learning more about your product. And so I was like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? So I went to the order history and I looked at it. I completely made up the email address. It wasn't even close to this customer's email address. I just looked at her name. I put it in front of a gmail.com. Thank you for your order. And I'm like, oh my God. So now I told her I would send her a free set to try if she trusts me with her address, because clearly I have her email address now, but what a dork, right? So you never know what kind of stupid things that we do that could warrant a new customer. So I challenge any of you, just make up some email addresses. Wow. Anyway, so let's move on to our next speaker. And I'm going to share my screen again before I introduce her, because now that we learned, one thing I wanted to say and clarify, I want to make sure that you all understand this part before I introduce our next speaker, because Terry did mention all you have to do is find 2 new stylists in December. For any stylist that you enroll in December and they BQ in December, they're worth 2 enrolling points. So the qualifications, let me go back. The qualifications, I didn't put in the things here, but the qualifications for enrolling is 4 enrolling points. Here's the clarification. It is not for enrollees. It's for enrolling points. So if you enroll 2 stylists this month who BQ by the end of the month, you can check off your enrolling requirements. It's done. What?
Oh.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that, and I'll say it again before we end, before I introduce Lori, because I don't want to forget that. So with that being said, next up is Lori Fredericks. And Lori was introduced to Color Street by her friend Deborah Foster, who was introduced to Color Street by Terry Larson. And since Lori began her business, she has achieved Circle of Excellence every single month and has earned $500 in Canadian dollars cash bonus since she started. She is consistently in our comma club by submitting 1,000 or more PV. And she just had her best month ever with over $3,000 in personal volume. So Lori's going to share with us how she has actually increased her average sales per customer to nearly $100 per person. You guys want to hear all about that, right? So I will give it over to Miss Lori Fredericks. Take it away. Lori, are you still there? Oh, there you are.
Just had to unmute myself. So thank you again for the opportunity to speak a little bit this evening. This is the time of year when we are all crazy busy, right? Everybody's busy with Christmas and everything. So I'm thinking in my mind, what do we do with this business that gives us the biggest bang for the buck? And so in my area, the Facebook online groups, they don't go over very good. Well, they go over great and everything, and everybody's on them, but nobody's buying anything. Because when I finally asked the lady, so, is this worth my time? And she said, actually, I said, how much have you sold in all of this that you're doing? She said, I had one order for $36. I'm like, no, my bang for my buck personally, unless you're in an area that's going to actually work, that's what I did not decide to spend my time with. So the number one thing I thought I'd share with you, 4 different things. I only have 4 months experience, so I'm not a pro at Color Street by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like my 22 years with my previous company was training ground for this. And so, so the first thing I decided is shows. Shows. You cannot do enough shows. Now with COVID, maybe, a person doesn't want to do a show, but would they have their mom and their sister and their cousin around the table? Sure, but they won't do a show. So it's all in the mindset and how you actually present that to them. A couple of people around the kitchen table is all you need for a show. And it doesn't take much. Our show qualifications are quite low, I think. And so just work with the people. And if you're a new consultant, then start with coffee with a couple girlfriends. And just seeing the people. We were at a farmer's market, and the one lady, well, I got to tell you, I was the original gel nail snob. I had my gel nails. I didn't give anyone the time of day. The poor girl who sold Jamberry, I've never even seen it or anything. I looked at her and I thought, are you kidding me? I pay money for this on my fingers. I ain't putting nothing on them. I didn't give her the time of day. I never saw a catalog. I didn't do anything. So I was the original snobbish nail snob, which has actually been helping with this, because we get the nail snobs at the farmers markets and they're totally walk past and they go, oh, I have gel nails. They go, so do I. And I show them mine. And so, yeah, it has been helpful. Anyways, I digress. So the idea of seeing the people. When we were at one farmer's market, the lady said to me, who was a nail snob right next to me, she watched us and she had her nose up in the air the whole time. And then there was a lull in the farmer's market. And she thought, well, let's see what they're actually doing over here. So we put a nail on her. Well, my goodness, we'd given her $1 million. She was walking around, hey, go over telling all the vendors, go let her put a nail on you. And she said to me later, the thing with you girls is you got to get the finger on, because I wouldn't have given you the time of day. So when Terry approached Deborah about Color Street, Deborah approached me and said, Terry's doing nails. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And she goes, oh, yeah, I'm thinking of doing it. And I'm like, oh, yeah. She goes, will you let me, I should pull it on you. I'm like, do you have to? And so I said, okay, you may do my pinky finger. And that's what I did. And so I was the original nail snob. So people need to see this. They need to see it goes on gel nails, acrylic nails. It doesn't affect them in any way. We are not a salon that does those sorts of things. But I am actually, and you'd be so proud of me, I am growing out my gel nails. All I have is little teeny chiclets right on the end. And but that's been good for people to see. And so seeing the people is the number one thing. So if you can get shows or coffee appointments, stop at Tim Hortons, stop at Dunkin' Donuts, whatever, to see the people, you have to do that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is really Terry's idea. She told me it and I'm like, okay, because I'm used to having a high show average per customer. And so when all of a sudden the show average was $42, I'm like, I'm going to die here. So how can we double that? And so the whole idea was, how do we get $100 order? So when Terry said, I'm going to give them an extra set when they sell a bundle. So I'm like, oh, great. So at my shows, I show them a bundle and I say, this is a bundle. And so you're actually only buying 3 and you're getting 1 from the company for free. But I personally have a deal for any single person who individually, without sharing an order with any of their friends or anyone else that they know, all by their little lonesome, buy 2 bundles, and I will give you an extra set of nails. And so because you want 13 girls want to sell, they want to share the shipping. I'm like, yeah, so no sharing the shipping. Buying 2 bundles gets an extra set. And then I have a whole bunch of nails here that I have an elastic band around, and I just pass it to them and they pick. And so this really works. So really, even in my last 2 shows, I had 17 guests between the 2 shows, and I had 10 of them spend $100, and a couple of them spend 150. So this works. And then I have one consultant on my team who's very frugal, and she said, this is going to kill your profits. And I thought, well, it's got me a honking amount of sales. So how am I going to pay for these nails? And I thought, well, every month I have a show in the system called November orders placed here or December orders placed here. And so anybody who orders, I've had total strangers add an order to those shows. And so the only time I cash it in is when it's at $1,280 Canadian. And that gives me the maximum host benefit. So all that free stuff is how I give away these extra nails, so it doesn't cost me a cent. And so because I was giving hosts a set of nails, and that was too much because I was having too many hosts, not to complain about that, but so then I decided giving the little finger clips, which is the solution to getting these nails off. If you don't own these finger clips, you need finger clips. You can get 100 from Amazon for like $18. So like it's a 50-cent host present. And then I give them a little zippered pouch with some finger clips, some twosies, a rubber cuticle thing, and whatever. Like, they're thrilled. And I'm making this seem like I am giving them a Ferrari. And so they're booking to get their own little cute zippered Dollar Tree, $1.25 zippered pouch with 50 clips. You'd think I was giving them $1 million. That's another thing that helps to get bookings. So doing the whole Tuesday thing that that was a brilliant idea, And just getting them all from your own shows so that it's free. So that's the exciting part. So it doesn't cost you anything. And you have nails. I have nails coming out of my ears, and I'm saving, I think I have another, I don't know, 500 credits in there or something from something I did. I can't even remember. And I'm saving that in case something happens that I may want a whole bunch more or something. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is farmers market. Sometimes farmers markets are only for crafts. And so you need to find one that is for like Tupperware and Avon ladies and whatever else. And if there isn't one, you need to make one. Have one at your house and invite 6 friends or advertise lots or whatever. Because we started at a farmer's market that was all carrots, $15 a bag, and best carrots you ever ate though. But and then they saw that the crowd, we were bringing in the crowd. Our first orders was like $50 the first week. Now we got people phoning us. Are you there at the market today? We got people come back every week and bringing their friends. And last Saturday was $550. So, you know, that's Canadian. And so really farmers markets, because you're seeing the people. And we just say, have you heard of dry nail polish? Because that's what Terry says. She told me what to say. And then if the men are standing there, I tell them that statistic. If between March 2020 and March 2021, they sold almost $700 million worth of nail strips, more than all 50 nail polish companies combined. That talks to men. And the other big thing we say is, this is invented by a man. And that's always shocking to everybody. So so that is the second one. Try and get in on a farmer's market if you can, or make your own. They will keep coming back, and they are sending their friends. And it's all about standing there and just getting a nail on each person. The third one is customer service. I love the app, and they tell you who to call and what their cell phone number is and whatever, and just touch base with people. It's that connection. They don't care about the nails as much as they want to know that you're their nail girl, and they want to know you. And that's the same with Facebook Live. If you do not have a Facebook Live group, get one and make one. They don't care how your hair looks. They don't care. One time I had my cat jump up in front, and one time I forgot half the stuff. I had to run upstairs and right in the middle of Facebook Live. It's a gong show sometimes, and they don't care. They just are, it's been a lifeline, especially during COVID. And so all my people from my previous company, all of those people dumped into my nail company because they just wanted to spend more time with me. So, I mean, it's a connection. It's something they do. And so I cannot emphasize enough how important that is. So if you're afraid to do it, find someone who isn't, and they'll come and help you start it up and start you out with it. And it really is essential. But that customer service, make those connections with people. And the fourth thing I'm going to do to blow out and make an extra bang for my buck, because I have 25 points. I'm almost at one trip, but I want to bring my husband. So I have to get all the way to 50. That's my goal. And so I got to do a whole whack amount of that this month. So the fourth thing I'm going to do is a blowout of my inventory. And I guess there was some training. One of my consultants, who was very diligent, watched a video about some 12 by 12 construction paper that they put a set of nails on, and then they put some little tchotchkes in there to make it all cutesy and stuff. And so I thought, well, let's find 3 sets that go nice. You could have the winter romance and the lights and the FX red one, and then the Beijing beauty. And you could put them all together with some red baubles, Christmas baubles or something, a string of lights, and take a picture of that. And either you can make a deal or whatever you decide, this is your business. That's a great thing. And offer those on your Facebook group. And you could auction them off, or you could, I think I'm just going to come up with a price, and the first person to comment who wants it is going to get it. And so I'm going to dump all my inventory and then rebuy it. And so then that's really going to help you with sales. So those are the 4 things that I am doing. I don't know if I've been talking for 10 minutes or not, Terry, Shonda, but anyways, those are the 4 things I'm doing, because I got to make a truckload of points. And so I am in Mexico.
Awesome. Yay. Lori, you are freaking adorable. I love it. And by the way, for those of you that might be new to the whole situation, Lori was saying shows, which it equates to parties.
Oh, sorry.
Or nail bars. No, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure that all our new people are going like shows. Is that like a vendor show or what? So it's about parties. It's about getting in front of people. That's what she was saying. Does anybody have any questions for Lori?
Can I just mention, Shonda, I say shows because I'm in the Bible Belt, and so nobody wants to go to a bar. And so if I'm saying we're doing a nail bar, they're thinking we're at the lounge somewhere. So
yeah, I've heard another really great term from some of the folks on this page. Actually came up with it, called nail social, instead of a nail bar, but a nail social. So there's an idea for you, Lori. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. I got a ton of notes from that. So I love it. And by the way, I love that you're a gel nail snobby McSnob is my new name for you, snobby McSnob. It's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing, because that's a great story, being able to share that you were a nail salon snob with somebody. That's great. And there's a lot of our stylists and leaders that still continue to get their gels or their acrylics and use Color Street on top. I also love that you were talking about at events, you got to get it on their finger, which made me think, give them the finger, right? So, Rebecca, you have a question.
I do. I just wanted clarification on the farmers market thing, because I thought we couldn't do farmers markets because they meet so often.
You can, according to the policies and procedures, you can meet 8 times in the same location. So a lot of times, like in Canada, those farmer markets are a short period of time. They have a small season. And then there's other townships and stuff like where I live that will do like a summer series. But so if you have a team of people, you can have a different stylist there each time. So that way you've got, maybe it might be a different face, but yeah, that way.
All girls messaging me like during the thing, and I was like, I'll get clarification.
Yeah, good question.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay.
Shonda?
Laurel, go ahead.
Lori, your little host pack was just so adorable. Can you repeat what you put in that little zip pouch?
Yeah.
So I got a little, a Dollar Tree has these little ones that say happy. Some of them say cutie, whatever. They're just like little, it's in the cosmetic part. It's not in the pencil case part. So I bought them out. They had like 30 of them. So I'm like, okay, I can do 30 hosts. That's what I decided. How am I getting to Mexico? 30 hosts. And then these little nail clips that you get from Amazon. I was giving 10 to the first host, but that's too many because you can't do a thing when you got 10 on your finger. So they're just getting 5. So then, it ends up being like 50 cents each. Then
What is it exactly?
Helen, if you do not know, goodness,
Yes.
this is the answer to this. So it's like a little clothespin.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So
Okay.
you put some mineral fusion on your cotton ball, put it on there, and you stick it on your finger like this, and then you watch TV for 10 minutes or text. And then you pull it off, and the nail, even if you've had, like for me, I'm going to give you the finger, but I'm always putting the toozy on my middle finger all the time. And so sometimes, no matter what color nails I have, I've got like 4 coats of Tokyo lights on my swear finger. So this is the only company it's okay to flip people the bird. So, so I have that, and then I have we got from Amazon rubber-ended cuticle things.
Oh, yes. I have this.
Those are nicer than the wooden sticks a little bit. You can buy 100 for like cheap. And then I put 5 twosies so that they can have some accent nails. And then I put a little file, and I put alcohol swab and my business card and a purple how to put it on postcard thing. So that's what I put in there for every host. And I make it sound like I'm giving them $1 million, and they're all booking. And bookings have never been so easy with this company, I tell you. When the host doesn't need bookings to get extra credit, they're just coming in left and right.
I love that you just said that. I love that you said
Lori.
that. If those bookings aren't just falling in your lap, then it's not your customers. You just got to pick up that phone. And
oftentimes they'll call back because I'm just saying, and I'm always talking about, this doesn't apply to you, because at every show I give them an opportunity brochure and I say, read it. I said, if you're going to throw it in the garbage, leave it behind, but give it to somebody who loves fun nails. Who do you know? If it's not you, then pass it on to someone. If you don't know anybody, leave it behind.
or make up a bunch of email addresses. Send out emails. All right, let's move along. So our next presenter, I'm so excited to hear from her because I love to hear her little Frenchy accent. But she is actually new to direct sales, and I love that because you cannot underestimate her. So Sabrina was introduced to Color Street by her mother-in-law, the amazing Helene Marcoux, who we had the opportunity to work together in our prior company. And Sabrina began her business on August 9th. And since then, she has enrolled 16 new stylists. Y'all, she doesn't even know what she's doing. And she enrolled 16 new stylists. And get this, she is now leading a team of 61 stylists. She's already enrolled her 2 stylists for the month of December, right? Because she's not missing out on her Circle of Excellence bonus. And she continues to be consistent in how she talks with people about the business. So we're so excited to hear, Sabrina, your story. Please take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shonda, for giving me the chance to share my story with you today. And pardon my English, that's not my first language, so I might be reading a little. First of all, I used to be a retail buyer. I've been in this industry for the last 10 years, and I was sure to do my whole career in buying, but I had a good position, but I was tired not to have the freedom to manage my schedule as I wanted, and not to see my kids as often as I wanted. So on August 9th, I jumped into Color Street. As you said, my mother-in-law, Helene, she inspired me to jump into this business, and I've seen her having such a great success in another direct selling company. So I knew that it was possible to do it. So as I said, I enrolled on August 9th, and ever since I am constantly working on growing my team. That's my goal. That's what I like. I like to have to be a leader. That's what I was doing in my old job. So I try to use my asset in Color Street. So every day I talk to the opportunity to everyone. We never know if they're not interested. Maybe their daughter will be their sister, their friend. So don't be shy to talk to the opportunity to everybody. And what I do with my team to make them comfortable to talk about the opportunity, I host a meeting weekly on every Tuesday night to present the compensation plan and to talk about the opportunity for new people. So my stylist in my team, they bring guests every Tuesday, and I present the opportunity, the compensation plan, so the stylists get used to it and they get more comfortable of talking about it to people. So that's what I do, and also try to find opportunity to sell for your team. Like Laurie said, we have good markets in Canada. That's the Christmas markets time now. That's a great place to meet new people, to meet future stylists. That's a good place too for the new stylist to learn how to present the product, get used to it, get comfortable to present it to people, and also to practice to answer to customers about all their objections. Sometimes we always hear the same objections from people, so we get used to answer to it. That's a great training for the new stylist. So that's what I've been doing for the last month or so. We've been doing a few markets in different places, different townships for the last month, and it has been such a great opportunity to grow the team. We have meet so many new people, and when you talk to the opportunity, maybe one customer out of two, that's how you get to know new people, and they're like, oh, maybe not me, but maybe my sister could be interested. So I invite them to the Tuesday meeting so they hear the opportunity and they can have all the knowledge they need to make the decision to enroll or not to Color Street. So that's what I do. And also we've been doing team building lately. We host our first team meeting in the conference room with Helene. Since that meeting, we've seen the team really relating to each other. They had the chance to bond together. So they sometimes now they ask questions to each other. So it gives us more time to find new people to be in the company. When they relate to each other, that's good for all the team because it gives you more time and they feel more supported with others. So that's pretty much what I'm doing every day. That's my goal, to grow the team and to be there for them and to make myself available for them.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sabrina. Does anybody have any questions for Sabrina? Because again, what she gave us was really simple steps, right? We were hosting opportunity meetings once a week, right? Doing markets with new stylists so they can learn how to overcome objections, how to talk to people, how to introduce people to the opportunity, and then also doing some team building things to connect all these people together to build that community, because we all want to be a part of something special, right? So does anybody have any questions for the lovely Sabrina? Or
I was
comments?
wondering if we can sit in on one of her weekly where she teaches her girls what to say.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're in French.
you can, but we're French. Maybe you won't get a thing.
My mother speaks French. Maybe
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
help.
Oh yeah, so you can be at my meeting next Tuesday. Well, tomorrow for sure, if you want to.
Yeah. So and you can sit
How
in
do
on
we find it?
hers.
I can send you the link.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Oh yes, sure, Wendy. I'll do it.
Yeah. So Wendy, maybe you could send her a message in the chat here, and that way she can answer you with the link, and just be prepared not to understand. So I love my Frenchie group. Okay, any other questions for Sabrina? I just have to shout you out, Sabrina. You've done a fabulous job, and I know Helen has taught you so much. You have a wealth of information in your mentor there, and but it's so fun to watch you guys grow, because you're like the fastest growing section of our Live Out Loud team right now is our Quebec province. So it's exciting to see. I love it. Yeah. Yay, go Frenchies. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to introduce our last speaker of the evening, and then I'll wind it up with a few more announcements. So our last speaker, of course, is certainly not the least. She actually leads our entire team of 1,258 stylists in personal volume this year, with $62,667 in US sales submitted as of today. And she has enrolled 17 new stylists as well. And when, if I remember right, you did not have any direct selling experience when you came into Color Street either. Maybe you dabbled in something.
No, I didn't.
No, okay. So she also is one of 5 stylists in the entire nation of Color Street who has secured her all expense paid trip for 2 to the Riviera Maya. As of last month, she did that. And that's 2 months before the deadline. So that's amazing. But I have to tell you, it all started with a decision that she made. So when attended her very first national conference in July, and she was completely inspired when she attended that national conference in Orlando. She had already come in with the goal of wanting to be the top seller in her state of Idaho, but she made some other really important decisions right there while she was at conference. So she's going to share a little bit about her story and give us some tips and tricks for increasing our sales and enrolling to capitalize on earning those double points in December and finalizing our trip in January. So Miss Wynn, take it away.
Thank you. So I loved what was said earlier about the first thing that needs to happen for you to hit goals is to believe that you can, and that you do not have any moments in your mind of I can't do this or I won't do this. It's always, how am I going to do this? And I think that's really important. So as soon as I heard about this trip, I immediately made a plan. I looked at the point system and I wrote down every piece of what did I have to do to make that happen. And I shared that with my VIP. I shared it with my friends and family. I shared it with my opportunity group and I kept track of it. And it chokes me up thinking about, because I've come from a lot of struggle in my life and I've been raising my boys.
Let's hear it, sister, single moms.
I've been raising 3 boys by myself for 20 years now. Almost 20 years, 15, 16 years. And it's been a struggle. And Color Street has changed that. So I think first off, believing that you can is important. And in order to make it happen, you have to dive yourself straight into it, 2 feet. And you have to learn from the women that are doing it. You know, that's what I did. Like, I couldn't believe it earlier when I saw my face was up there with these women that I idolize and I learned from, and I've been watching. And so what I do is I make my goal, and I'm really clear and I'm really specific about what has to happen for that goal. And I write it down. From there, I can take my big goals and I can section it down into smaller and smaller pieces. And then I have those goals in my mind. I also made a vision board for this year of everything that I wanted to accomplish in this year. And it's got pictures and words and things. And I often can see that in my mind when I'm tired. And I've been working all day. I'm a full-time high school science teacher, and I want to sit down on the couch and I just want to veg. And I can see my vision board in my mind, and I think to myself, I'm not getting there if I sit and waste my time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to watch a training. I'm going to think about, okay, where am I at in my month? What do I need to accomplish this month to hit my bigger goals? And from there, I think about it week by week. What do I have to get done in this week to hit these goals? And if something goes wrong, like I have parties that flop all the time. And when that happens, I think of a plan to recover either through my VIP or having a fun sale. And really, that's my next point I wanted to talk about, is making sales fun. So I do lots of live sales. We do bingo. I do bingo as my party night in my parties. I do multi-hostess parties with 4 to 6 hostesses every single week. And it's super fun. I did some trainings on it in Shonda's group. So if you want to see those, just search my name and maybe bingo, and I'm sure that you'll find them pop up. But then I also, in my VIP, I do bingo too. And we do like spin your price sales. I do like mystery sales. Last year I did a white elephant sale, where they had to like do a $25 buy-in and they would get 2 mystery sets. And then I pulled the sets live, and I had them like hanging up behind me as they pulled them. And so the next person that went, they got to either steal those sets or pick 2 new sets, you know? So always just like make it fun, make it exciting. And I didn't know anything about selling before I did this. So everything I have learned, I learned from somebody else. Over time, I've been able to adapt things to like, you know, me and fit what works for me. But I learned everything from the official Color Street Stylist group. You know, when I thought, gosh, I want to try some new sales, I look in the group and I find trainings about that. Another person that I love to watch, you guys, her YouTube training videos is Kelly France. Kelli, and then France. she has so many amazing trainings like about increasing sales, types of sale events. And so, you know, I do that. I do a variety of things. Some of my sales are definitely not like live. I have others that it's just like I post sets and they can claim them, but I do try to go live a lot. And I think just make it fun. If you make it fun and people feel good, they want to spend money. So definitely just make it fun. And then let me look at my list here, but also know your weaknesses. Know what are the things that you hate to do. And then make that a priority, because I feel like we're always really good at pushing aside the stuff we don't want to do. For me, it's follow-ups. Sometimes I just don't want to follow up, you know, but I know if I don't follow up, I'm not going to get the bookings that I want. And I mean, definitely I get bookings through parties, like in the party, but I get more from following up, you know. Every single time somebody makes an order from me, I thank them. I invite them to my VIP group then and there. I tell them we have fun and I'm going to send them their first loyalty card stamp. I found a loyalty card that somebody had created in Norma's graphics group like forever ago. And I've been using that same one. And I just send it to them in Messenger with my little initial. And so that works great for me. Another thing I think is important is I post a thank you for every single order that I get. And not only do I post a thank you, but I show sets that they purchased. This is especially important in parties because that gives you a chance to talk about the sets. You can post up if somebody bought Coming Up Rose Gold, you could show how Rose Gold, you could wear it 3 different ways. You could wear it naked. You could wear it over Midnight in Manhattan. Oh, and this is what it looks like over Greeking Out. I mean, whatever. But it gives you a chance to, number one, teach about the sets, show your appreciation to the customer, and FOMO, fear of missing out. People see sets that others are buying and they're like, oh my gosh, I gotta have that set too. So I think that's really actually important also. And I definitely highly recommend that. One thing that I do want to point out too is that by saying like doing sales and making them fun, that doesn't mean that I'm offering discounts either. I do sometimes, I do games like find the hidden nails and, you know, those types of games. We do little mini games too, but I don't just give stuff away, you guys. It's like all of my prizes are linked to a purchase. So like get 5 accent packs when you make your next buy 3, get 1 order. Or get a free set when you make your next buy 3, get 1 order. I'm not into just giving away free stuff. And also it just keeps people coming back to you. In my parties, when I get orders, I always send a catalog, my business card, and a coupon for their next order. People almost always come back to me. So let me show you guys my coupons. I get these little, they're called scratchers, and they have a little nose, you know, you scratch off. This is the one I got for the holidays. They scratch it off, and behind it, I wrote whatever I want. Free shipping, 10% off the order, whatever.
Oh,
You know, so
love it.
I got these from unicornsmiles.com. Here's, I don't know if you can see this, but unicornsmiles.com. They have all different kinds. They're super cute. So, and when I send the catalog, it has my sticker on it that has my name and my phone number. I got those through the print portal in Color Street. And so one thing I read or saw once in a training was that if you give somebody a catalog, it has scientifically been shown or whatever, they spend like 15 minutes going through the catalog. And that really stuck with me after I heard that. And I've since then been sending out catalogs, and I think people really love to have the catalog in hand. They can show their friends too. I get orders from people all the time who say, oh my gosh, Sally gave me your catalog. These are so cute. I can't wait to try them out. So send catalogs. It costs you a stamp, and they're only $5 in the VO for 25. I think it's worth it. It's worth, putting in a little bit to get back. And so I think what else is important is making sure you're booking parties. Obviously, parties is where you're going to grow your sales. You're going to meet your next recruits. And if you're not sure like what to say, how to get bookings or anything, ask your upline. Go to your upline for advice, or search the Color Street Stylist group. There's tons of trainings. Literally, when I first started trying to go for bookings, I had to.
Oops, she froze. She is in Idaho. When are you there? Okay, well, when? She'll be back in a moment. I look. She's coming back.
She doesn't know she's glitching.
No. But I wanted to reiterate on something that she said, and I knew this about her. Pretty much everything that she's learned, she found online. She found YouTube videos, or through the official stylist group, or Tuesday training. She literally went in search of information. So what I love about Wynn is she's an amazing student. She learns things, and then she has no fear of applying it right away, and then she tweaks it as she goes, and she just figures it out. So I think that is such an amazing quality in somebody, that just feel the fear and do it anyway, right? So, and making sales fun. She's really high energy. Oh, are you back, Wynn?
Back.
Okay.
I only had a couple more things to say. I know we're all busy. I like what you were just saying though about watching trainings and then doing it. Yes. Watch the training, do it. We're not gonna make a goal, write down, take notes, and then immediately do it. Try it. See what worked. See what felt good. See what was awkward. Just go for it and try it. But the last thing I think is plan ahead. I will month in advance. I do 3 posts a day, and then I obviously I have my parties every week too, but in my VIP, I think it's important. Every week I know what I'm going to end up doing, but I don't announce it to my VIP until a day or two ahead. I don't want to announce that I'm going to have bingo night or whatever until right before, like a day or two, because I don't want people to order all week long when they're waiting for the sale. I want them to order midweek, and then I want them to order again when we bingo. So just make sure constantly flying, be stressed, and you're going to never know what you're doing next. That's all I got. I'm sorry I talk so fast.
Awesome. Thank you, Wynn. I know you're in a sketchy area there, aren't you? So Wi-Fi wise, I mean.
Yeah, it's snowing.
And, yeah. Our whole West Coast is
winter.
getting slammed. So thank you, Wynn, for sharing. I appreciate that. And like she said, her training, she went live like 3 or 4 different lives on our Live Out Loud page. So you can do a search in that Facebook group and learn all about the things, her spin the wheel for the prizes, the bingos, all the fun things that she does with her parties. And clearly, Wynn does 100% of her parties are online. They're Facebook parties. And then we've been speaking tonight to in-person parties and Facebook parties and enrolling and Zoom meetings and all the things. So we've covered all the aspects. So I just want to go ahead and share one more screen just with a little bit more information. And that is a few updates before we call this good. So Mr. Park, investments is what I had written. So if you didn't see it today, Colby Weisseth went live in the official stylist group, and he shared a little bit more about some of the investments and things that Mr. Park is invested in a new warehouse and a new home office. He's purchasing raw products for making the nail polish colors, the nail polish, the actual nail polish, all the things. We also have expansion plan for new international markets in the next 14 to 24 months. I don't know for sure what that looks like, but I do know that the UK was next on the docket. So Canada was first on the docket for a long time. We launched Canada, and now the UK will be the next one on the docket. So anytime in the next 14 to 24 months. Also, Color Street is doing a whole bunch of brand marketing. So in other words, they wanted, although all of the stylists have done an amazing job introducing Color Street to new customers, we also need to do some brand awareness to where, for example, when we have a foundation strip and we're giving money to different charities, that raises our brand recognition. People like to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And so the more that people see Color Street in the mainstream marketing and branding, the more they're going to think of you. So it's really up to you to make sure that your name stays in front of your specific customers. But in the meantime, Color Street is going to do more branding work to enhance the global brand name. Also, there are, so Color Street is doing some tweaks to our compensation plan to make it better. The launch for the compensation plan will be in April, but we'll be hearing some tidbits leading up to that. So they're, for example, they're bringing the National Executive Gemstone directors into the home office in January. They're going to share it with them. And then I want to give a big shout out to Terry Larson, Helene Marcoux, and Sheila Wendell, who have already earned their ticket, their invitation to the Leader Summit for senior directors and above in the Bahamas in February. And that's where they will be introducing and talking about the new compensation plan as well. And then they will be introducing it to the field in March, and with the official launch on April 1st. So that's the schedule of events, if you will, for that. I also want to remind you that this is our last month for the Dash for Cash promotion. And if you don't know what that is, make sure that you just look that up in your resource library or in the stylist assets, or ask your upline, or look in your group Facebook page, because it's there. The Dash for Cash is there, and a lot of people are capitalizing on that. For the Live Out Loud group, if you're in Live Out Loud, submit 350 in PV. So it's 350 PV by December 12th, and you're going to go into a drawing for, let me grab it, the deluxe carry case, Color Street deluxe carry case, which is something I personally love to use for carrying to parties and to small events and things like that. So you'll go in, that's going to be our prize for the draw for that. And so far we have 18 stylists in that drawing. Upcoming events. Okay, just 2 or 3 times a year, we do what we call a mega Facebook party. So our next Live Out Loud mega party is going to be January 5th through the 8th. You'll just watch for more details about that. If you want to participate in it, the stylist pays a fee to participate, and then that gives you license to invite all the people that you want to invite. It's $10 for our people in the US, $12 for our Canadians per stylist to participate, and then the money that is collected for that participation I use to buy prizes for the customers and the hostesses and the people that participate in that mega party. So I do the mega party on your behalf, and your job is to communicate, invite people, get them into the group, and then work with those people through the party. And then our next 2 regional trainings. I hope that you enjoyed this regional training this evening. And our next 2 events are going to be on Monday nights. So we will do the second Monday in January because the first Monday falls on the 3rd. And I just felt like it could be a little bit crazy. So we're going to do January 10th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then the first Monday in February, February 7th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm so excited that you were able to join us tonight. I hope you got lots of great value from this. I'm going to go ahead and stop share, and I will go ahead and open up to Q&A for just a few minutes if anybody has any questions. And thank you so much to our presenters, Sabrina, Lori, Terry, and, oh yeah, the mega party, and Wynn. So thank you so much for all of your participation in this. Sabrina, you had a question?
Yes, for Wynn. I had a question about her coupons that she sends with her orders. How do you apply it? You do only groups orders?
No, so I do it for parties. And I do it for my VIP sometimes too, but not always. I kind of do it randomly for my VIP. Sometimes it'll be for a special event or a special sale or an incentive. Like if, you know, everybody does a purchase of the new collection is also going to get a coupon for their next order. So I kind of do it randomly in my VIP, so they're not always expecting it. But yeah, in parties, definitely.
Great, thank you for sharing. I love the idea.
No problem.
Any other questions? Okay, well, you'll know where to reach us if you need us. So otherwise, I just want to challenge you to continue your sales and enrolling conversations like crazy. This is the week to follow up because you're able to sell from inventory or take orders and still have plenty of time to get those orders to your customer. After next week, after December 15th, at least in the US, USPS is giving that as our deadline, December 15th, to receive any mailings by Christmas. So I'm not sure what Canada looks like for mailing, but make sure that you just check out your local shippers on what their deadlines are and adhere to that. Otherwise, I know I plan on taking orders and selling from inventory and doing some porch pickups or porch drop-offs for my local people, and I'll be able to serve them that way and continue the cycle of fun and games during the holidays, right? And then I want to close with something that Wynn said that I wrote down is make it fun and they will come. That's it. Make it fun and they will come. So you guys go out, make it fun, and have a great week. Let's go kill it in Color Street, okay? Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.